객중 내가 별나게 보일 수 있겠지. 하지만 그 후엔 흑수들보다도
I am out.
그때는
Technically, I only
너와 나의
need
목적이
one,
이루어진
but
후다.
okay, you know what? It's recovering in 10 seconds, so.
길이 같으니
Okay, yeah, it's having some weird bugs right now.
이 기회에 평소 지휘 실력을 확인해 보죠, 단테. 하던 대로 해보십시오.
답공창.
단격발. 나라도
회풍.
그렇게 했을 테지. 이만한 훌륭하군요.
늦으면 메피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
받아볼 텐가.
회풍.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
내 뒤로.
일기당천.
답공창.
무얼 잘못했는지 아는 것부터가 시작이랬어.
사정없이 몰아칠 테니 흩어져. 찾지
전투
못한
감각 하나만큼은 수감자가 이것밖에 못하긴 하군.
회풍.
이제 그 도통 알아들을 수
그렇게 서
없는
있으니
말투만 고치면
목이 떨어질 수
있겠어.
깔끔하게 몰았군.
사관 수감자.
기꺼이.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
내 뒤로.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라. 아, 여기선 이런 공격이 잘
사정없이
먹긴 하군요.
몰아칠 테니
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Okay. This is going better than the last I did.
쟤네 좀 봐. 속이 메스꺼워 보여.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고. 바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라. 바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라. 이건 예상 못했나봐.
내 뒤로. 사정없이 몰아칠 테니 흩어져. 찾지 못하리.
그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수밖에. 받아볼 텐가.
내 뒤로.
마음 놓고 열어줬고 첫 여정을 시작했을 때보다 정말
답봉
강해지셨네요.
그래,
매일 보아왔는데도
그렇게 시원하게 처리하니.
하지만
It is just another book,
흡수들보다도
which is
뛰어나다는
free.
걸 알게 됐고.
Ah.
너와 나의 목적이 이루어진 후다.
정면 엘리베이터가 작동하고
Hopefully it doesn't glitch out. That's my main concern actually now. The elevator up ahead is operational. I could see the light of the elevator beyond the lockdown door. If the power has returned to the elevators, it can only mean that Hohenheim has arrived at the facility management room. Ah, then. Once the elevator doors opened, LCA agents began pouring into the facility in perfect order. They immediately began hacking and shooting down anything that got in their way. There wasn't the slightest hesitation in their movement, as though drilled into them over countless rehearsals. From the way, they never failed to deliver a killing blow to any target that so much as twitched, even when it was already mangled beyond recognition. I could tell they were seasoned veterans with years of combat experience, as it began to grow certain that these fighters could brush aside any obstacle we faced with ease. LCA's Special Operation Unit wasn't sure know how to clear a room. Testing, come in. Oi, give me that. Oi, oi. You alright, mate? Ah, the heck, no need to shout into the mic. Hey, Cliff, we can hear you just fine. Ah, apologies. My assistant's temperament leans on the more impatient side. Oh, right. Hohenheim called him the assistant before. I forgot about that fact. Or rather, made him the assistant. Senator Oden's conjecture was correct. After arriving at the facility management group, we have been observing the hallways through the device here. The video feeds quality, while it leaves much to be desired, but the LCA have arrived at the sector. Can I confirm that on this end as well? We have a visual on LCA units past lockdown shutters. But all I've managed so far is to remove one security walls in your path that has nothing to do with restoring the internal elevators leading to the other departments. Whichever may be the case, this does mean that the wound can now be transported to safety. Not quite. While they managed to send the LCA down here via unknown means, the entire facility has to be restored in order to return upstairs. Indeed a relief, however, it seems that the agents have been deployed to each sector. They should be able to secure the rest of the survivors. Though I've never been one of and to be interested in the art of killing and battling, particularly those without even a tangible relation to research, I have heard that they are rather formidable combat forces, even by the standards of the city as a whole.
정면.
Eyes forward. The lights flickered and... Ah! 3 LCA agents who were advancing while covering in the front of their squads simultaneously fell to the floor without so much as a scream. Like a broken lamp, the light past the security walls continued to flicker. Between each flicker, the malfunctioning light and the outline of the intruder's weapon seemed to shift into different shapes. At first, the shadow stretched into a sharp tip of a pick. After that, several more flickers that took a familiar outline of an axe, very much resembling Roja's own. Judging by their appearance and gear, it is likely that they are the LCA's reconnaissance specialized units, most likely in the same vein as the team that arrived at the monolith retrieval mission. Recon team or not, how did the intruder manage to wipe out such a well-trained team all on his own? Hohenheim, do you hear us? Indeed. Has the LCA taken care of the situation already on your end? You mustn't step foot out into the hallway. Why might that be? I've just watched the LCA agents take down an abnormality with quite impressive precision. To set a trickery entity in mere minutes. Fascinating. This calls for an initial comment. It's observational. The LCA reinforcements sent to our sector, they're all dead. What? Were this battle fought in an open field, even the LCA's reconnaissance team alone would have I used to avoid defeat. However,
거미줄에 걸려있다는
this is what
사실을
happens to
잊으면
Frey.
적거든
Forget that they've
나지.
been snared in a spider's
저들은
web.
자신들이
They'll
지극히
never
유리한
fight
곳으로
on an even
먹잇감을
ground,
떼어오고
always drawing their prey to a location where they have absolute advantage. They wouldn't have lost in an open field, you say.
자동차 의미가 없다.
It's meaningless to speculate over what'll never happen. Look, his prey ensured their demise by walking into his hunting ground. What Alyssa had described earlier was becoming more and more apparent to us. A relaxed but disciplined gait. The man, after having slaughtered dozens of Elsie agents, slowly turned around to face us. His sharp-dressed shoes lazily chopping against the floor. He seemed to have already been aware of our presence from the get-go. Light dances across the glossy surface of his white mask. He returned a smile in response to Ryoshi's furious wrath. Then his lips parted soundlessly, mounting a sentence word by word. Hi, sweetheart. How did your reviews go? Hey, sweetheart. How did your training go? Same old. Dull and boring. Dad, that wound on your arm, did you do that to yourself? Ah, yes. I had to stab my opponents with a knife 38 times through my own arm. The 20th stab was where it really began to hurt. They say that the pain of burning hurts at least 100 times worse than the pain of getting stabbed. Did you know that? So, when you have to take care of someone, I hope you won't use fire. Lest their death be slow and their dying breath curses your name on their long descent into hell. Don't they deserve to watch their life flash before their eyes in relative peace? Okay. Come closer. You've got a scratch on your cheek. It happened during Valencia's class, didn't it? Her methods are simply too violent. She's the kind of teacher who uses the number of scars as a measure of training intensity and effectiveness. Let's take a look of that wound so it doesn't scar, okay? Whatever. If what the LCE has told us through the transmission is true, the executive manager is in danger. I'm just as concerned as you are, Otis, but we're not exactly out of the woods yet either. The security camera feed's working again. Yeah, look, it's pointed right in front of our door, but come see, if my memory fails me not, the man's attire suggests he is the middle. I guess we now know what happened to the LCA in the other sector. Jeez, this guy's practically tearing people apart. He's shouting something. I can't quite hear what he's saying through the feed. Yoshihide. He is shouting Yoshihide repeatedly so, as he filled the silence between them with bolstering guffaw. Face split into a wide grin, body convulsing with laughter. What joy does this madman find in this carnage? God, that's an insanely powerful kick, flung that guy all the way to the other side of the hallway. The footage is pretty blurry, but do you think he's got a prosthetic leg? Maybe not. I guess a leg covered completely in augmentation tattoo, which could look something like that. Oh, are you looking at Poppy's mighty bear paw? Oh? Oh, who the heck are you? Who am I? Hi, I'm Kira. A covert approach. Men, battle positions. Oh, you guys got it all wrong. You're watching my papa work, aren't you? Don't mind me, Kay. I'm not gonna pick a fight with you guys. I'll just hang around here while you guys get at the important stuff done. Carry on. Watch him work. Your papa? That guy's your dad? Uh-huh. Isn't he, like, super badass? Did you guys see that? Gosh, that text straight up fire. So dope. I've been trying to recreate that myself, but it's not the same, you know? How's he doing that? Totally folded that guy up and tossed him like a basketball all the way to the other end of the hallway. Deterrent massacre is no different from a game or sport. What a contemptible scoundrel you make. Ah! Oh, so you're that kind of character, huh? Sick.
나도 좋아해.
I'm a huge fan of him too. Did you read the latest issue of the Cloudburst Blade?
그런 말투 쓰잖아.
There's this new character who's just like it. Acts just like you do. Lifting up his bamboo hat, he goes.
뭐야?
Wait, you don't know the Cloudburst Blade? Oh man, I've been trying to sell it to everyone. And I know, but no one's interested. One of them is obsessed with training all day. One of them talks with her sword all day. One of them just wanders all over the place all day. And the other one, you know what she said? I think the story indulges in far too many logical fallacies. What the heck kind of book review?
처음부터 끝까지 안 맞는다니까.
What the heck kind of book review is that? Like, bro, who wastes time nitpicking about what makes sense and what doesn't when you're reading a comic book? Gosh, I don't think I'll ever vibe with that girl.
아무튼 그거 본 사람 있으면 손들어 볼래?
Anywho, has anyone actually read the Cloudburst Blade? If you did, well, if I may have but 3 or 4 hours of your time, good sir, enough. If you thought you could distract us with your nonsensical prattling, think again. Otis, I don't think the middle nurse father on the feet anymore. If she's his apprentice, then... Hey, kiddo, what are you doing all the way out here? Haven't I asked you not to wander off too far? Drat. No more transmissions, they've all gone quiet. Hark, young Ishmael, young Otis. Where doth the nun respond? This is bad. We don't even have enough of the manager with us. We're all in the dark. We must make haste and restore the facility to its operational capacity. The sooner we attain access to the security wall controls, the sooner we can coordinate with each other. But luck would have it, we should be able to locate one of the lost pieces in circuitry. These remains, the ring has made its mark here. Boy, don't forget, Ors yourself. It looks so hard. No disgust as this emotion holds very little sway on me. It's just that, boss, don't look at their faces and try to tell who's who. Right, I lost my focus for a moment there. Let us carry on. What is there anything you wish to say to me? This is highly irregular, but it seems that Faust also expresses agreement with Hohenheim. Agree with what? That we must restore the facility with as much haste as we can employ. Okay, so one group trapped by the middle, one group is next to, I want to say the pointer? / probably Ryoshu's direct father? It is very curious that the middle nurse father has a child. As well. But the nurse fathers were more so gathered as a means of training Ryoshu, so I wouldn't imagine it be like a school of these. Would the House of Spiders almost be like, quote unquote, boarding school? Of the children of the different finger groups sort of get sent there. And that's why it's sort of almost like, even though it's an abnormality of them working together, it's almost considered like a neutral sect of, this is where the children of these groups go, and they are trained within different facets of the different fingers. Okay, back. I don't think there's too much left of this last chapter, so, and I have plans in about 2-ish hours, and I'm thinking I'm gonna take an adult gummy at that point, so hopefully I can get past this without needing to continue or push it into another day. Leaving behind the perpetrator of the carnage greeting Ryoshu on the other side of the security wall. We had no other choice but to make our way toward the lab. Mr. Yoshu, perhaps this question of mine is one you might not wish to grace us with an answer, but if it indeed is, do feel free to let it float past. But what is your connection to these so-called nurse fathers? Your relationship with them does not seem to have been brewed in mere bad blood. And in the change in your countenance, I sense a flash of something almost imperceptible. I haven't put all the pieces together just yet, but they were nurse fathers. My fathers who forged the sword that I am. Okay, so it's not just necessarily one, it's all of them, though it seems there was a more direct thing with the finger one. Are the pointer one? They're all fingers, so saying finger doesn't quite make sense.
받아볼 테니까.
여러분과 함께하는 여행은 늘 제 마음을 설레게 만들었답니다.
합공창.
그렇게 여기서 멈추고 싶지 않아요. 단테님은 매번 기발한 발상을 떠올리시네요.
내 뒤로.
즐거움. 언제나 순탄치
받아볼
않았고
텐가.
때로는 어설펐지만 여러분과 함께하는 여행은 늘 제 마음을 설레게 만들었답니다.
내 뒤로.
그렇게 여기서 멈추고 싶지 않아요. 단테님.
Trying to piece together if Ryoshu's memory loss was something she
늦으면 미피랑 먼저
got
갈
when
거야.
joining, or if it was something like potentially even by her own request. Is she personally? She had it jumbled because otherwise she needed to join to get to this point before she could
내 뒤로.
remember, kind of deal. Like almost in a way that Donkey brainwashed herself or made herself forget. But
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
damn it, Nissan has the most issues out of this group. Granted, I am doing win rate, but he still has the most issues that everyone I'm doing just win rate on.
전탄격발.
I feel like that E-song works better when I have the Jaishi unit.
내 뒤로.
아파 보여.
기꺼이. 내 뒤로.
깔끔하게 물었군.
총알값 아까울 놈은 아니군. 골치 아픈 것들이 고기 조각이 되었군요, 단테. 나쁘지 않은 성과입니다.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
전력으로 상대하마. 전탄격발.
내 뒤로.
제쳐라.
Bye-san. I knew it. Probably should just let him clash rather than defend.
잡혔어. 아, 여기선 이런 공격이 잘 먹히는군요.
그래, 그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 맛이 나는군. 일 처리는 빠르게 하는 편이
터져
덜 답답한
찾지
법이지.
못하리. 답봉창
대성공이야. 가론 신나. 노래 부를까?
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
회풍
그렇게 서 있으면
You've seen all four, right? The thumb, the pointer's the one we just left. The ring, the middle's by
나를 계속
Eris's
고용하라.
group, and
공원의 여러 협객 중 내가
the
별난
ring
볼
is
수 있겠지.
by Hohenheim's group.
하지만 그 후에 흑수들보다
Pinky's
더
kind of
뛰어난
the outlier of the fingers.
너와 나의
'Cause that's
목적은
Jiaqui, that was Lei Hong. But they're like a more independent? Seemingly? Something of that line?
몸이
Like they're more individualized than an organized group? Looks like we're here. It's the lab.
LCD나 LCD
The LCD and LCE haven't reached out again since the last transmission. I can only hope that no misfortune befell them. Hey Manager Bud, you picking up anything? I mean, the golden ball. If those people got to it before us, not yet, I don't think they did. It's still in there.
그래.
Is that right? I guess I should be glad we still have a chance. Gregor mumbled in a gloomy tone. Hohenheim will be relieved to hear this. We stepped into the lab. The lights were off. It was completely dark inside. If the assailants were indeed after the golden ball, what could they possibly want with it? I was deeply engrossed in my thought when I noticed that Ryoshu had stopped in her tracks. Ryoshu?
이 앞에
There is a stench coming from up ahead.
지긋지긋한
It's
향이
a sickeningly familiar one. Even in the coily darkness of the unlit lab, Ryoshu seemed to notice something out of place. You smell something? I don't smell anything other than your cig.
그렇네.
Oh yeah, you've not been smoking for a hot minute. Only silence welcomed us in the lab. We couldn't hear any breathing, but there it was without a doubt, the stink of cigarettes and a chilling disembodied sense of dread we couldn't exactly put a finger on.
그곳에서 난
When I left that place, I remember feeling a strong contempt for someone. It had to have been... Yoshu started muttering as though she was gripped by a chill. I noticed she wasn't speaking to me, though. It seemed as though she was wading through a bog of mutilated memories to cling to her emotions at that moment.
마지막까지 당신은
Dehu Star, you...
나를 괴롭게 할 생각뿐이었던
All
거야.
along you wanted to make me suffer to the bitter end, haven't you?
나 때문에? 그건 내가 할
What
말이
audacity, you think I'm the one making you suffer, Yoshihide?
네 존재가 지금까지 내
Do you
모든
realize that
일들을
you've always been the one obstacle in my life, don't you?
그러니까 이래야 공평하잖아.
This is the only way for us to get even.
요시히데
Yoshihide,
들려.
it never stops.
들고 무거운
The sound of fettering around my feet, rusted and heavy,
탈크를
how it clinks and rattles. In that vision of the past, Yoshi raises her sword, and in agonizingly slow motion, unsheathing the blade that we have never seen revealed before. A white blade of such unfeeling purity, devoid of even a trace of mercy beneath its pale edge. In a split second, I was blinded by the glint of the blade. Ryoshu clutched the hooded figure's jaw in her crushing grip. Then, without a moment's hesitation, she drove the blindingly bright sword into the figure's mouth. Ryoshu pulled the sword out in a single swift motion. The figure coughed and out a thick glob of blood and a piece of her sliced tongue. But she spat out more than just a bloody chunk of flesh. A guffaw hacked its way out of her mouth, the triumphant laughter of one who had just seized victory of one's life. With a deep, ragged breath, Ryoshu let the sword fall from her grip, stood rooted in her spot, staring at the flailing figure with a look of pure confusion. ISOTPITA. Insidious stench of the past in the air. And right now, right before Ryoshu's eyes, the vivid presence from the memories of the past came to life in the form of a white silhouette. Her hands slowly brushing the lips beyond which no tongue laid, as if to remember the absence of the organ that Ryoshu had so mercilessly cut off. Like a lone watchman who had been keeping vigil awaiting our arrival. The mouth had lost its tongue, faced Ryoshu without opening even once. But I think I heard a whisper of a hollow sigh escaping between her lips. Because of my 5 fathers, I had to leave behind the single most important thing in this world. And that is why I must take it back.
다시 만나게 되어
So happy to see you again, Ryoshu. I mean it.
라고
Such were the words my master bade me to relay. The pinky, nurse father. Oh, okay, so we do have a pinky one too. They're all involved.
주인님께서는
As my master expects not from my insignificant self, I am but a blade rusting amid the quiet turn of nature, doomed to ever endure the dullness of today's and the emptiness of morrows. Okay. So this pinky apprentice, we have Lucio, the thumb apprentice, and we have the middle's child, who potentially is not also like direct bloodline, but potentially with the middle person also being a nurse father is just a more direct connection. And sounds like there are a bunch of like, I want to say my theory from before of the House of Spiders being a home for children of the Fingers, or these apprentices were brought in as almost replacement figures for Ryoshu, because the purpose of those nurse fathers, in theory, was to train her, and then when she left, they kind of replaced her in different apprentices. I am but a blade rusting amid the quiet turn of nature, doomed to ever endure the dullness of today and the emptiness of morrows, and therein owing to your pursuit of the spider's thread.
이렇게 주인님의 뜻을
I am once again granted a chance to carry out my master's will. Another talker, piss off. As her apprentice approached us, Ryoshu's nurse father slowly stepped away. Oh, do you star is the pinky? A nurse father? Toward where the container of the golden balls lay nestled, emanating a soft glow.
끝났사옵니다.
The preparations are complete. I trust you have not forgotten the plan. Where the nurse father had left, a figure clad in steel armor entered. What the?
기술이 접목된 무구라기
Darman looks a little too crude to be a piece of gear endued with advanced technology.
싱크레하군이지.
It looks akin to the torture device we had previously seen in the basement of Sinclair's home. No flesh, no blood, no bones to show. In a fight, for an artwork meant for my eyes, its aesthetics are lacking in class.
이런 상황에서
Keeping your mouth shut even in a moment like this. Did he not teach you there is no beauty to be found in it?
그자.
I want him here. Where is the ring, Nurse Father? The armored figure answered Ryoshi's question with a swing of their huge sword. We need to take care of this quick and track down the golden ball. Let's fend them off.
제법 미학을 깨우쳤군.
You're starting to pick up on the rudiments of the aesthetics clock.
단 이해가
Watch as I
무엇인지
demonstrate the meaning of AOS.
위에서 당신을 관리자로 정한 데에는 합당한 이유가 있겠지. 기대하고 있겠습니다, 단테.
기꺼이. 탑공창. 회풍.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데. 위에서 당신을 관리자로 정한 데에는 합당한 이유가 있겠지. 기대하고 있겠습니다, 단테. 자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
Might be interesting that Ryoshi specifically asked for the ring, Nurse Father. I am wondering if that is potentially her quote-unquote favorite, since it is the art aesthetics and such.
승객들, 뭔가 기분 좋은 일이라도 있었던 거야?
Maybe it's more like least hated.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
내 뒤로.
Okay, I think we're finally breaking through the shield and might get some health damage. Fucking finally.
가장 먼저 처리해야 할 것이 가장 흉포한 송곳니를 드러내고 있으니까.
Okay, I'm gonna hope.
일기당천.
You win this clash.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
God, we are not getting the damage I need.
회풍.
Or if we are gonna get the damage I need, it's gonna take a while to build up some like poise and rupture. Okay, a little bit more. A little bit of burn.
관리자로 정한 데에는 합당한 이유가 있겠지. 기대하고 있겠습니다.
Damn, I can't clash.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
Okay. No shield build up. Oh, great. Now you have your friend.
100초만 기다려줄게.
Hopeless, favored.
기꺼이. 내 뒤로.
Okay, this hasn't been too bad. There's a huge concern I had with this one, with the whole, hey, you have 4 characters to work with, but
전탄 격발.
방금 건 아무 쓸모도 없었어. 바보.
ah, Gregor, no!
총알값 아까울 놈은 아니군.
패잔병같이 무릎을 꿇고 있을 때인가 13번 수감자. 평소처럼 넉살 좋게 같이 상황을 개선해 보시지.
기꺼이. 내 뒤로.
Oh, I forgot this has a multi-hit.
무수히 넘고 얼마든지 꺾고 제쳐라.
Okay, not bad.
인간의 전투 경험이 쓸모가 없진 않았군요.
소생의 쓸모는 다
적합한
이만
조치였습니다.
That took you out?
뚫어버리겠어.
이제 끝장을 내야 할 겁니다. 무한한 것도 대가가 없는 것도 그 어디에도 없을 테니.
Okay, wait. When hit by attack skills before using the skill, gain 1 impacted armor once per skill. Does not trigger effect Iron Maiden passive. On kill. Good lord. I hate these scrolls. Can I look at something? Can I look at non-scrolling option? Good lord. Okay. During this turn, if this unit is hit, gain the following effects. Impacted. Raising your plus stat views. Lose 10 final power for every stack. At 3 stacks after repressed flesh, lose its effect and become staggered until next turn. Once per enemy skill, including ego skill. Okay. So it will lose final power for each person hitting. Like, that becomes dominating. Because now I have, I guess, that many hits going. Okay, I'm gonna try it.
일기당천
내 뒤로. 항상 지켜보고 있었지.
나의 뼈로 틀을 잡고 나의 살로 태어나온 외면을 위해서. 어? 하! 넌 에베야. 이게 아니야.
And you're gonna be staggered next turn.
이 기회에 평소 지휘 실력을
Going for maybe not go for damage, just in case I need some of these class skills next turn. Do these.
기꺼이. 회풍.
알쏭달쏭해. 뭐가 나올지 모르겠어.
Multiplying the damage from the Iron Maiden's Bite's passive 20. This effect cannot be disabled offsetting skill. When hit by attacks, inflict +1 bleed count against the attacker. I mean, I think this turn I'm gonna restagger you potentially.
전력으로 상대하마. 전탄격발.
확실히 훌륭하군.
내 뒤.
5번 수감자. 덕분에 위험한 순간도 넘어간 적이 많다지.
It's like robotic?
계획에 없는 행동을
Refrain from any deviations from the plan. Has my humble self neglected to press upon this matter many times?
보여? 하시아도 두근거리기 시작했어.
Okay, so Ren, Albina. See, fascia has begun to pulsate. I haven't seen fascia tremble like this in a long while. Why don't you give her some time to chat?
이런 사사로운 욕망에
This plan involves no outward expression of such selfish desires. The plan that involves only the observation of the warming, rending flesh while our own heart beats slow.
하시아는 거슬리나 봐.
That plan isn't to Fascia's liking. Her tendons have tightened.
주인된 자들의 뜻에 따르
Yet we must learn to remain tranquil before these common beats, if we are to adhere to the wills of those who are our masters.
마에스트로님의 영영
I've always been so curious of the Maestro's child forever lost. Maestro's child?
조형 정도는
Why not let
충분히
us at least
있겠어?
prepare a Menaquit?
뜻을 헤아려
It has become apparent that this glorifying executioner does not know her place. Clearly it is about time her branches are pruned. With that, the man who stood in our way leaped toward the pulsating greatsword of flesh and delivered a powerful strike. This may be our stroke of fortune. It seems that in the chaos our presence has slipped their minds. Ah! The golden ball. Feeling a dull pain squeeze through the grooves of my mind, I turned toward the spot from which the sensation surged forth, and saw Ryoshu standing there. In her eyes burning hatred and fury, a glare that would easily have made me believe that she would unsheath the sword from her back at any minute. At the receiving end of that glare was the veiled figure who had been watching our battle without a word. The Pinky Nurse Father simply stood there, meeting Ryoshu's wrathful gaze, as she did in the fragmented memories. Then she withdrew into the shadows, the darkness slowly eating away at her shape, before disappearing from our sights. Dante, have you found the golden balls? We must... No. We were too late. I felt the dull pain in my head lift as I pointed at where the veiled person stood. The golden balls that should have been there were gone. What remained in their place were dozens of cigarette butts, the same kind that Ryoshu smoked, piled up like a thick layer of dust.
나를 들뜨게 만드는 일은 많지 않지만 이번에는 그
Very
귀중한
curious.
실수에 맞았고
And that is the end.
잘 놀다 간다.